You guys have made your predictions. Some of you, some others, not so much. But the ones who did make your guesses for the Phantom Punch breakdown, you were correct. It is Phantom Punch breakdown number 18, Stamp Fairtex Day. Congratulations to the Atomway Grand Prix champion. Her and her big ass silver belt. Those things are huge, man. Like that thing looked big on DJ. Looks big on her as well. Just got the fantastic win over Ritu Fogat. Yes. And I know Scott will be excited for this one too, since he very much enjoyed that performance, as we all did, as did Ghosts. So without further ado, let us get on into it. Pull it up here. Boom, boom, boom. Get the full screen going. Get my mug out of here. Get your popcorn ready. As Centro says, this should be good. Her striking is phenomenal. Yeah, but we're talking about the submission. As you can see, studying Stamp's sensational submission. All right. Let's do it. Let's study. Study time with Ghost Phantom and your boy DR. From the start, Stamp's opponent attacks on the tracks. These are the easiest attacks to deal with since they do not force Stamp to turn or reset. Rear hand straight is used by the opponent to set up a penetration step. The penetration step is coming from a wrong angle. The correct angle for the penetration step is in between Stamp's legs. Well, that makes sense for what it's called, isn't it? Oh. Stamp secures an underhook and a single collar tie to break opponent's posture and land a knee. Knee tap takedown was available for the opponent after Stamp throws a knee. However, since the opponent does not have an underhook secured on the far side, she missed an opportunity for an easy takedown. Stamp does a great job blocking a secondary penetration step with her right leg. Great job by Stamp widening her base, sprawl, to defend the double leg, inserts chin strap grip for front headlock. Both fighters are on the tracks. Choo choo. Take note of the distance between the two fighters. Jab is not a threat due to the long distance. Stamp sees the attack on the tracks coming. She is able to set up frames, get her hips back, and break the opponent's posture since the opponent did not create a convincing... Oh, what did we lost it there. Where did I go? Sorry, guys. It moved a little quick. There we go. Create a convincing striking exchange. Stamp establishes a single collar tie and underhook to break the opponent's posture and create hip separation. Stamp lets go of her collar tie and underhook to land a beautiful knee as her opponent moves forward. Kablamo. Catching any type of kicks is a skill that many fighters in MMA have. Not many fighters, excuse me. It takes practice and real-time experience to catch a kick and punish it. Oh, regardless of what DUST guy says. Oh my god. I did not see that coming. I haven't watched this yet. Holy shit. That guy is a criminal. Stamp gets taken down since her opponent does a great job running the pipe on the single leg. Wow. Stamp posts one arm on top of her opponent's head and one arm on the ground to start to build a base. Stamp establishes an overhook and begins to push her grounded leg towards the cage. Stamp now has a knee on the ground and her back to the fence, which allows her to wall walk. Wrist control, overhook, and base allow Stamp to get back up. Getting back up can force wrestlers to expend energy. All right, so she did get up from that one again. I kind of forgot about that quickness. Where now he's calling out Steve. Where he said Steve said last week Stamp's opponent knew how to hold people down and control them. Oh, if only he was here for this. Using the emoji too. She generally does. She generally does. All right. Credit to Stamp. And some tight little elbows in there. Both fighters are on the tracks and far distance. Opponent switches stances and shows a jab to hide or takedown attempt, but since it's on the tracks, it's easily countered. Bam. Counter rear hand lands. His opponent attacks on the tracks. Double collar tie breaks the opponent's posture. Lovely body kick lands off the clinch break. That was very nice indeed. Sneak it in there. This is called Clamp Guard by John Danaher, where Stamp's hips are on the side of her opponent. The clamp guard is very good for setting up triangles due to the position of the hips and space the legs can move. Stamp's arms and her hooking leg is preventing her opponent from posturing up and passing guard. Opponent attempts to pass by framing off Stamp's head and bringing her knee up to base. Stamp inserts her knee in between her opponent's hips and pushes off the opponent's basing leg. Stamp keeps her opponent's posture broken with her other arm. Opponent's base and posture are broken. Opponent decides to pull back, which is the dumbest thing you can do in closed guard. Normally, you posture up by passing the guard. Opponent keeps pulling back, which allows Stamp to position her legs for triangle. Modified clamp guard with wrist control achieved since the opponent kept pulling back. First mistake by the opponent is not pushing base and posture into opponent to break the clamp. Opponent makes second mistake by pulling the arm up and away from the head, from the hand fighting space for hand fighting. Opponent falling on one side is the worst thing she can do in this position since it breaks her own base and posture. Stamp is easily able to readjust her right leg and hips to set up a triangle. This is a deep triangle. Stamp only needs to get the opponent's arm to her right side and pull the head to finish the choke. Unfortunately, this does not happen. Ended up working out. Choke does not work since Stamp allows her opponent's right arm inside the position. Bicep tie from the opponent prevents Stamp from pulling the arm over and pulling head to complete the triangle choke. You're the ref right there. Did you see that? He's like pointing at her. Opponent puts pressure away from the lock side. This is an option for defending a triangle, but a dangerous one since she is going to the side of the choke, making it deeper. He's like, "Is she out? Is she out, bro? What's going on?" Yo, look at her though. She doesn't look like she's in a good spot right there. It doesn't look very comfortable. Again, Stamp only needs 2 steps to complete the triangle choke. 1, get the opponent's right arm over and away from the lock side. 2, pull the head down to remove any space. Like, seriously, it doesn't look good. Pause video, as he says. The next 30 seconds have Stamp's opponent refusing to give up hand fighting. This makes it difficult for Stamp to complete the choke. What is he doing? I can't get over that. Sorry, I'm taken away from the actual thing that's happening. Don't look at the referee, you guys. Ooh, some good elbow work there. Instead of forcing the triangle, Stamp finally realized that she can isolate the inside arm for an armbar. Like, oh, would you look at that? Stamp readjusts the hip position and secures the isolated arm. Ruh-roh. Opponent is using an S grip to defend the armbar. The S grip is only as strong as the opponent's hand strength, which it can be broken with ease with the correct leverage. Stamp has a single rear naked grip with her gripping arm connected to her opposite shoulder. This beats the S grip since she is using her back muscles versus opponent's hand strength. This position is dead to rights for Stamp's opponent since her left knee is on the side of the armbar. To defend the armbar, the knee should be on this side to prevent the opponent from spinning underneath or rolling out. Opponent uses the knee that is up to push into the armbar, but this actually makes it easier for Stamp to roll her opponent over. If this knee was up against Stamp's back, all the pressure would be on Stamp's spine and eventually break the armbar. Side note, Fogot is the one being submitted, not Ghost. This is not how Ghost would maneuver himself if he were in between Stamp's legs. As enjoyable as that may sound, we're talking about how Fogot could have defended in this situation and what she could have done to maneuver her way to an escape. My oh my. Stamp's opponent now should bring her right knee up to Stamp's back with her base reset. Instead, the opponent brings up the left leg and starts to knee stamp. Bam. Bam, bam. Oh, turn over. Stamp now has the leverage to roll her opponent over. Oof. Oof magoof. Two directions of force when applying an armbar. Direction of force 2 is going down. Direction of force 1 is going back. Or to the right, if you look at the arrows here. The opposing forces turn the elbow into an improvised fulcrum point, which can result in a complete obliteration of the elbow's articulating structure. Science. Biology. Happy Stamp. Fogot made 3 critical mistakes throughout the fight. 1, not consolidating position after achieving the single leg in round 1. 2, not placing correct direction of pressure when in Stamp's clamp guard. 3, attempting the knee stamp while Stamp had the armbar. Yeah, that was not gonna do too much there. If you were Stamp's head coach, what skill would you have her work on for her fight against Angela Lee? A. Takedown defense. B. Ability to get back up after being taken down. C. Positional striking so she doesn't get taken down in striking exchanges on the fence, on the tracks, square it off. Important note, Lee and Stamp attack on the tracks. All right, so that's our question of the day for the Phantom Punch breakdown. And I can just see all the interaction over there, you guys. My goodness, nearly 50. Once again, we had a whole lot last week, got a whole lot this time. There's the 50 mark right there. Can't wait to look here in a sec. But to answer the question, that's an interesting one. There are a lot of options here, Ghost. What should she work on in preparation for the fight against Angela Lee? I mean, everything, of course, but what should she focus on maybe the most? I think I will have to go with it's a toss-up between takedown defense and, get up ability, if you wanna call it that. I like to call it that. Uh, the spring ability, the ability to get back up, whatever. Um, because I feel like with Angela Lee, she's going to get taken down. Similar to this fight, right? With Ritu, we knew she was going to get taken down. No matter how much she improved her takedown defense, which she clearly did. It looked pretty solid in there. Solid enough to start out the fight. And then ultimately, it kind of helped her to not have very good takedown defense, at least at the end, right? She was on her back, got the submission, all that kind of thing. But with Angela Lee, I just feel like it'll be a case where you're probably going to get taken down no matter what. So maybe try to prevent that from happening as best as you can. But at the same time, that there's the worry about try to get up as best as you can as well. So prevent it from getting there in the first place with the takedown defense, but also worry about getting up because it's gonna happen. Like just accept that. So I feel like it's a mix between both. Positional striking. I mean that's I think she'll integrate that naturally anyway, being the caliber of striker that she is in general. So I like that. See, I think the order you did here is pretty good. I might, if I was to rank these like ABC, I'd probably go BAC. I mean, B and A, it's toss up. It's one of those. It is one of those, but it's gonna be an interesting fight, man. It's been a while since Angela's fought. Hasn't fought as a mother. Different ball game, different type of inactivity. So we'll see how much that affects Angela when that happens. What improvements and adaptations Stamp can make whenever that happens.